Hey guys, so today we're going to be breaking down the Zenkai for Green Revival Kid Gohan, and then we do have some equipment to take a look at as well. Legends Limited Piccolo is getting his unique equipment, and I think we are getting a new Awakened equipment because the Zenkai Rush is resetting, so Ultra Space Time Rush or whatever it's called. Alright, so let's take a look at Gohan here. Obviously this is a Revival character, basically just a glorified transforming character, so we have two separate kits to look at. I do have his kit pulled up in the background so we can compare how he looks post to pre-Zenkai. Let's take a look at his stats. So this is before Revival. Now keep in mind we have to subtract 13,000 because of the Arts Boost system, so he's going to be at 273 strike. That's going to be 277 blast. And he's going to be at 187 strike defense and then 185 blast defense. It's actually pretty good for a Revival character. Pre-Revival, I'll take this. Not bad at all. Definitely higher than Cell's, I believe. He's on Hybrid Saiyan, Sun Family, Regen, and Saiyan Saga, which I don't think is going to be a team. We'll have to wait and see what we get as the final banner as part of this campaign. But obviously Hybrid Saiyan, Sun Family, and Regen are a good array of teams to be on. Alright, so the blue card is the Double Demon Burst. This is a melee blue, right? So we have massive impact damage, 50% to special move damage for 3 counts. That goes up from 20%, okay, so it gets significantly higher damage. And then enemies get minus 50% health restoration for 10 counts. That is new. No blast armor. No blast armor on a melee blue. That's very, very weird in 2024. But it seems like it's fine. The green card is Piccolo's Scolding. Draws a special move arts card next, activates once. That's the same. Restores own key by 30. That's the same. 30% of damage inflicted. That goes up from 15%. Yeah. And then everything else here is new. Seals enemy special move and special arts. Yeah, that is new. That was the sealing of the blue and green card. Was not on the pre-Zenkai character. Alright, main ability, let's see. Draws a blast card next, 50 key, 40% blast damage for 20 counts. Cancels own attribute downgrades at normal conditions. So that is the only part of this that is new. Everything else is the same. Pretty sure we already know he's going to be a green Sun Family. Yeah, pretty sure. I think we already knew that from the reveal. It would have either been, I mean, unless they wanted to do another... They wanted to pull another blue Goku and do green Saiyan Saga, but nah, this is obviously what we wanted to see, green Sun Family. A lot of characters that could, I think, make good use of this. Goku and Bardock can use this. Obviously, Ultra Gohan is the big one. Alright, let's see what else. Actually, let me just check his Z ability. Saiyan Saga or Sun Family or Regen, Blast Tag and Diva. Yeah, this guy's going to be a really powerful Zenkai bench. Because he already has double offenses to Sun Family. The Ultra Gohan is getting 75% blast attack from this guy. Okay. Revive with 40% health when own health reaches 0. That's the same percentage. Falling effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Restores key by 30. 40% damage inflicted. Wait. Yeah, okay, that's the same wording that was on the original character. 40% damage cannot be stacked. Applies until enemy combo is finished. So basically what that means is he's getting this 40% damage, but it goes away whenever he gets hit. I guess is what that means. Minus 30% key recovery to the current enemy for 20 counts. That's new. Shortens ally subcount by 2 after enemy attack is over, activates twice. That's the same. So the only new thing on this entire unique ability is the key recovery down. Alright, second unique ability. Knocks enemy back to long range against strike arts. Now the thing with this Gohan is you can't chain this into the blue cards. That is important to remember. Applies the following effects to enemy when changing cover. This is new. Reduce key by 20 and destroys 1 card. That's actually pretty good. I don't think it's anything overly amazing, but it's at least solid disrupt. Falling effects occur from battle start until this character revives. 80% damage, that's new. Well, it's not new, but it goes up from 50%. And then reduce damage by 60%, that goes up from 30%. And then 40% to damage inflicted by allied tag Regen or Saiyan Saga Z cannot be canceled. So prior to Zenkai, you guys want to know what that was? 15% to damage inflicted by allied character Piccolo. So that is a very significant 40% damage just from the battle start. I'm actually not entirely sure how this works. The following effects occur from battle start until this character revives. 40% damage inflicted by allied attack, regen, or Saiyan Saga Z cannot be canceled. So the cannot be canceled portion of that would imply that it's a permanent buff. But then it says from battle start until this character revives. So I think the question becomes, does that 40% support carry over even when this character revives? I would assume it does. I would assume it does, actually, because it's an effect that's being applied to the whole team. Obviously, the damage inflicted and reduced damage received portions don't carry over because it's a buff that affects this character in particular. I'm actually not 100% sure how this works, but at the very least, we know that he's going to give 40% damage support to regen and Saiyan Saga before he revives, which is pretty damn good. All right, let's take a look at the new abilities here. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. 50% to Q recovery. Card draw speed. Okay, that's good. Following effects occur when enemy performs a vanishing step while this character is in the battlefield. I'm really not a huge fan of this mechanic. 30 key, -1 card draw speed to the current enemy for 5 counts. Inflicts all enemies with 3 sub... Oh, that's actually good. Inflicting the enemy with sub counts after they vanish. That's actually pretty annoying. Because obviously if you have a rush, and let's say you force the opponent to vanish from long range if you like blast them or something, and you can just freely rush them after that, that's pretty good. Last unique ability applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Draws 1 new card move. That's good. 1 new card move, 3 or fewer cards. 20% blast damage, 15 counts. -5 to blast or its cost for 15 counts. Following effects occur when this character switches to standby, shortens own sub count by 1, activates twice, restores ally key by 20, and the reduce enemy key by 10. Yeah, he seems pretty decent here prior to the revival. I think the big thing is just going to be the support, honestly. If you're pairing him up against or with other regen or Saiyan Saga characters. Seems decent. Nothing incredibly ridiculous on here. All right, let's take a look at the post-revive stats. Okay, so they don't go up a ton. So we got 296, 301, 200, 198. Yeah, he actually gets lower defense post-revive. I don't remember if that was how this character worked prior to the Zenkai. I assume it is. But now we're talking high 280s to blast attack, which is his main offensive stat. So pretty good. All right, let me just quickly change this to the post-transformed version. Masenko, massive 50% special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. That goes up from 20%. And then minus 50% health restoration for 10 timer counts on hit. That's new. Green card is Undeterrable Spirit. Restores key by 30, 20% damage. That goes up from 15% damage. Increases own card draw speed by 1 level for 30 counts. That goes up from 10 counts. It's actually really significant. He gets triple the potency on that. Okay. And then inflicts all enemy with attribute downgrade plus 10 to all arts cost for 5 counts. That's new. Okay, sure. Main ability, let's just check. Restores in health by 30%. That goes up from 10%. The reason why I think they wanted to change that is because he only revives with 40% health, which makes sense. I mean, him having a higher heal here, that's not something that's crazy to me. And then everything else is the same as it was prior to Zenkai. Reduce damage received by 30% for 20 counts. I mean, that's cancelable, unfortunately. And then destroys all of your enemy's cards. Sure. All right. First unique ability, the Power of Rage. Randomly destroys one of your own cards and draws a special arts card next. So he force draws a green to get the card draw speed. I guess that's good. Restores on key by 100. 80% damage inflicted. That goes up from 50%. 60% damage inflicted for 60 counts. That goes up from 30 counts. Reduced damage received by 40%. Cannot be canceled. That actually didn't even exist. This guy had 0% reduced damage received. So glad he got that. -5 to arts cost. That's new. Cancels own attribute downgrades in normal conditions. That's new. Shortens ally sub count by 10. That is new as well. And then inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 30% damage received for 60 counts. So that actually changes from just the current enemy for 30 counts to all enemies for 60 counts. There's a pretty sizable buff on this unique ability. He's getting a lot of extra stuff here. All right, next. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Restores ki by 30. That's the same. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 15% to damage received for 15 counts and plus 5 to strike and blast arts cost for 15 counts. That's actually for 15. Yeah, that's the same. Those are both the same. This is new. This portion down here applies the following effects to enemy when changing cover. Reduce ki by 30. Inflicts attribute downgrade minus 50% to ki recovery 5 counts. Okay, that's pretty good. Ki reduction in addition to ki recovery down is pretty good together. Seals 1 card slot randomly. The sealed card slot cannot be used for 10 counts. Okay, I mean, it's better. Again, he didn't have this before, so I'll take the addition of those disrupt mechanics. Applies the following effects self when this character enters the battlefield. Draws a special arts card next. Activates twice. Okay, so he's force drawing a green card when he revives. And then he's force drawing 2 green cards when he enters the battlefield. Or force drawing 1 twice when he enters the battlefield. That's pretty good, actually. That's a lot of green card generation. 50% to ki recovery, 15 counts. He gets ki recovery in his base kit? No, just arts card draw. Or not draw. Cost down. And he's getting 100 ki. Okay. Cancels attribute downgrades in no conditions. Applies following effects self when this character uses a strike or a blast arts. Restores health by 3% and ki by 5. 10% damage inflicted up to 30%. Looks like that could be canceled though. And then the last unique ability, following effects occur upon landing a strike or a blast arts hit. 3% to own critical rate. Activates 10 times. Nullifies enemy special action after changing over 15 counts. Activates once. So the first time you land a strike or a blast arts with this character, he gets cover null for 15 counts 1 time. 10% chance to reduce enemies' Dragon Balls by 1. That is very similar to LF Rose. Although I believe LF Rose's is 15%, but his is only 4 strike cards. So I think this is actually this is probably better because it's lower percentage. It's 10% instead of 15%, but it's for both strike and blast cards. That could be powerful in late game for sure. Following effects occur when enemy switches characters with this character in the battlefield. Draw blast arts next, own ki by 30, and then reduces enemy ki by 20. I mean, that's good offensively, right? So if you make the opponent switch while you're comboing, you just draw another blast. He seems pretty decent, actually. I'm actually pretty excited to test this character out. He seems like a fairly competent unit both before and after his revival. Stats are looking pretty solid. I think he should be able to do okay damage, maybe. The good thing about this character is he is supporting. He has defense in the form of a revival. He has a lot of ways to generate green cards. He has a long-range blue card when he revives, which is really good. So I would actually say this character looks really good. And if nothing else, he's going to be a very, very strong bench character. Green Sun Family with a Z ability and Zenkai ability. Okay, yeah, look out. This guy's going to be actually... I think you're going to be seeing this guy a lot on the PvP screen as just a bench character, if nothing else. All right, let's take a look at the equipment we've got here. Let's go to the archive. By the way, I will remind you guys that there is supposed to be a Mega Bonanza coming. I don't remember the exact day, but I would assume it's probably going to be Friday this week, so in 2 days, and on the 26th. Probably when we'll see it drop, so probably just hold off on rolling a bunch of equipment until we get the Bonanza. That's what I'm doing. I'm not even trying to go for the co-op equip or the PvP equip from last season. I have a bunch of stuff saved to get a bunch of those, but I'm waiting for the Mega Bonanza to drop, so... All right, so let's take a look at the equipment we got here. This is, I guess this should be the new PvP equips. This is for Saiyan, Super Warrior, or Regen, so a lot of characters. 20% critical, 10% health, 18% base strike, and then 10% to pure strike to strike, and 10% to strike and blast if this character is Saiyan Saga. So this is a very similar equip to this. This is a very similar equip to this. I actually do like that they're doing these because these equips are really powerful. they're only just for very specific characters, which I think is fine, right? So you're getting 18% pure blast, or sorry, 18% pure. I can't read. 18% to base strike, and then 10% to pure strike and blast if you are a Saiyan Saga character. And then you're getting HP. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of critical, but I think this is giving enough to where you can probably overlook the critical. I mean, the critical's not going to be bad on a character like Yamcha. Actually, Yamcha could really use this equipment because Yamcha is a character that actually, he suffers from the problem of not being on many tags, which means he has very limited equipment options. I think I would actually, yeah, I would use this on Yamcha. I think this is a pretty good equip for him. He's getting everything from this. Critical is going to be pretty nice for him as well because he already has such high critical. I think critical actually gets better the more you have because it's calculated based off of the differential between how much critical you have versus the opponent. So because he has so much base critical built into his unique abilities already, I feel like having more on equipment is actually not that bad for him. The incremental buff on that is not going to be that high, but it should help you get more crits. So yeah, I think this equip's fine. I think at the very least, Yamcha will make good use of this. So yeah, this is the one from last season. I haven't even started rolling this yet. And let's see. I believe the co-op season is still continuing, so we're not going to have to worry about a new equipment for that just yet. All right, here's the Piccolo equip. Let's see what we got here. So this is for Legends Limited Yellow Piccolo. This guy, I mean, let's just lay the foundation before we even look at this. This guy needs like the best equip by far times 30 to be good. Let's see what they gave him. So I would say automatically we're off to a bad start. He's only getting 10% health, and he's only getting 40% to base stats. That is not enough. The second slot, we have 50% damage inflicted, 20% sustained damage cut, 40% special move damage, 15% to pure strike and blast defense when there are 3 regen or Saiyan Saga battle members remaining. Okay. That's a lot of stuff on the second slot there, huh? 20% sustained damage cut could be interesting. I mean, regardless of what people say about this Piccolo, he is a Legends Limited Zenkai, which means he has very high stats. So that could be interesting, the extra sustained damage cut. All right, let's continue. The third slot, restores on health by 30% after transforming. That's good. Applies the following effects itself when this character uses a green card. 50 key, card draw speed for 20 counts, and then restores Vanishing Gauge by 50%. That's interesting. Vanishing Gauge by 50%, because remember, this guy is force drawing a green card off of his main ability. Huh. I actually don't know how valuable the card draw speed is going to be on this. I don't really think it's going to be that crazy, because you're going to have to use a green card first. The key is obviously good. Do I think this is enough to bring this character back into relevance? Definitely not. But I think people are going to look at this and think it's not as good as it is. Just because, remember, again, his Piccolo is a Legends Limited Zenkai character. His damage inflicted and like reduced damage received buffs from his unique abilities are not going to be that high, but he's going to have very, very high base stats. So this could be interesting. We'll see. Again, I don't think this is good enough to all of a sudden shoot him and propel him back up into relevance, but it's at least enticing. All right, let's see. We should have a new Awakened equip as well. Yeah, this one. Saiyan Saga Z. 20% strike defense, 12% to special move damage and health restoration, 10% to health, and then 10% to pure strike and blast defense if a battle member other than this character is Saiyan Saga Z. This is actually really good. If you're getting that last slot, if you're getting that pure strike and blast defense buff, this is a really good equip. Huh. This almost makes me think that we're going to be getting a defense style Ultra at the end of the month, or an LF, either one. It's got to be some kind of Vegeta too, because we've had zero representation for Vegeta in this entire campaign so far. So I'm thinking some kind of Saiyan Saga Vegeta Ultra, or potentially an LF Nappa who revives into Vegeta, or something along those lines. Could be what we get in the second banner of this campaign. But this equip actually seems really good to me. It's a really uber defensive equip. Health restoration, health, pure defenses, and then just 25% base strike defense. I'll take that. Nothing bad at all about this. All right, so that's going to cover everything this week. Like I said in a prior video, so right now it is the 24th, which is Wednesday, which is when typical reset is. So keep in mind, next week, the typical reset for next week is actually going to land on May 1st. So I don't think we're actually going to get the banner on reset next week. I think it's going to be a day or two earlier. Typically, they like to release banners on the last day of each month. So I think what will happen for the next week is, instead of getting the reveal on Tuesday and the character releasing on Wednesday, I think we'll actually get the reveal on Monday night for me, which will be Monday morning for most of you in the US. And the character will come out on Monday night, aka my Tuesday in the afternoon, is what I think will happen. So we could be seeing some kind of like social media teaser or something, like as soon as Friday, I would even say. This week on the 26th, we could see something. So that's going to cover everything for this week. Should be a relatively, slow week. Again, the game's been kind of slow recently. I get it. It's just the way things are before the anniversary drops. But next week should be our final big reveal and drop before the anniversary. Let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.